Alo, alo, alo. Kurt Bey merhaba. Sesinizi duyamıyorum. Alo, alo. Kurt Bey duyamıyorum sesinizi.
Hello, everyone. Good evening or good day, depending where you are, and welcome to another Tuesday evening. And today we're going to carry on with the famous topic that we've been doing for several morning lessons already, and it's called Faith Above Reason. So this week we're going to carry on with item number 19, as you guys are familiar with the text as well, right? Okay, good. As usual, if you have any queries, questions, shoot them through. We'll try to answer them, and we'll go over them and see how things turn out. All right. So faith above reason, this is one of the most important topics that we have, because this is where we get above our desire to receive for ourselves. So without any further ado, let's give the Kabbalists the seat. So item number 19, Baal Sulam from Shemati, article number 8. Under its shadow, I coveted to sit, and its fruit was sweet to my palate. In other words, he says that all the concealments and afflictions he feels are because the Creator has sent him these states so he would have a place for work above reason. When one has the strength to say this, that the Creator causes him all of this, it is to one's benefit. This means that through this, he can come to work in order to bestow and not for his own sake. At that time, one realizes, meaning believes that the Creator enjoys specifically this work, which is built entirely on above reason. It follows that at that time, one does not pray to the Creator that the shadows will flee from the world. Rather, he says, I see that the Creator wants me to serve him in this manner, entirely above reason. Thus, in everything he does, he says, the Creator certainly enjoys this work. So why should I care if I'm working in a state of concealment of the face? Because one wants to work in order to bestow, meaning that the Creator will enjoy. All right, so not so easy at a glance. However, though, let's take a second glance, and the second one will probably clarify a little bit better, won't it? Under its shadow, I coveted to sit, and its fruit was sweet to my palate. In other words, he says that all the concealments and afflictions he feels are because the Creator has sent him these states so he would have a place to work above reason. So basically, if life was sweet, we'd never work, right? That's what he's saying. So in order for man to work, in order for us to ponder upon the thought of what is the meaning of my life, we need to be squeezed a little bit. So a little bit of affliction here and there, a little bit of, life slapping us around a little bit, right to left, left to right. It just gives us the idea, the thought that, hey, what's going on? Okay. And therefore, if we don't have some problems in life, dramas in life, then, we're never going to wonder about the meaning of life. We'll stick around like a bunch of animals who are happy, like pigs in mud. And that's about it, So in order for us to become more than happy pigs in mud, we have to go through some affliction. This, we have to say, well, these come from the Creator for sure, right? So he wants us to rise above these states. And this work that we have to do to go above the current state I'm in, which means despite the fact that I am having problems and issues, I am still working in order to bestow. If I work under those conditions, then I can go above reason. Why? Because reason says that I'd like to enjoy myself, right? We're a desire to receive. So in order for us to get out of our desire to receive for ourselves, we have to, go above it in such a way that we're asking about the meaning of life. Why we're not getting pleasure from life? Why is everything a bit dark, not good? Work, family, this, that, all that kind of jazz. And all of a sudden, we start to feel, well, why am I living? There's no taste in anything. So if we don't go through that state, we won't ask about the meaning of life. The important thing here is if I keep going through dramas, but despite the fact I still work, then I can elevate myself. It won't be like, oh, I'm having a bad day and I'm going to, abandon ship. Right? So that's the whole idea. Despite all the problems, if I keep crunching, if I keep moving forward, if I keep chewing, then I can go above reason. And there's good benefit in that as well, because despite the bad, despite the evil that's now appearing, I'm not giving up. And only in that state can I raise myself above the current state that I'm in. All right, when one has the strength to say this, that the Creator causes him all of this. So it would be great, it would be great if we remembered that whenever we're going through a problem, that this comes from the Creator. All right. So if we remembered that all the time, that'd be great. If we don't remember it, it's because we're not sticking to the group. Because if I'm constantly in the work, sticking to the group, I should remember, oh, this is from the Creator. Because during our day, when we go out there, you work, you got family, this, that, all kinds of stuff on the planet you're dealing with. It's very hard for a person to remind him or herself that everything is coming from the Creator and it's all good. We just don't remember that. Something bad happens, we get upset, we start cursing at life and all kinds of things. So in order for us to remember, we need a good environment. This means that through this, he can come to work in order to bestow and not for his own sake. At that time, one realizes, meaning believes that the Creator enjoys specifically this work, which is built entirely on above reason. So seemingly the Creator likes it when we're suffering, but it's not the case. The Creator likes us doing the work no matter what we're going through. That is what he likes, because then he says, he's a go-getter. He's going to go get it. And that's the kind of thing, just like we like our children that way as well. If they want something, we like to see that desire, the passion, the push in the kids. And when you see that in the children, you go, yeah, that's a go-getter. That's it. So the Creator is also looking at it from our perspective, because he's saying, well, despite the obstacles that he has, I gave them to him for sure. Just like we give our kids obstacles as well, so that they can overcome them. Why? Because when they overcome them, they become smarter. Right? When you buy your children Lego, you don't build the Lego and give it to him. You let him build the Lego, right? So that's how it is. Same with us in this business. So the Creator wants us to build the stuff. So building it can be a bit of a drama. However, though, if you don't act like a drama queen and focus on the job, then that is specifically how the Creator likes you doing the job. It follows that at that time, one does not pray to the Creator, that the shadows will flee from the world. What does that mean? So it means that if I have a problem, I'm not praying to the Creator to take this problem away. The reason is he sent the problem, right? Who sent me the problem? The Creator sent me the problem, right? Why did he send me the problem? He sent me the problem so that we can overcome it, go above reason, above the desire to receive, right? So me now praying to the Creator saying, hey, can you take this problem away? It's like, guys, come on, are you kidding? Okay, I'm the guy who brought it to you, so I'm not going to take it away until you overcome it. So for us to pray for the problem to disappear is not the option. It's not the option. To ask for help to overcome or to find ways to overcome it so I can grow, now that's another question, all right? But we're not saying take away the problem. So rather what we're saying is, I see that the Creator wants me to serve him in this manner, entirely above reason. So the Creator is giving me the problem and I'm working with the problem, because when I get any situation or any state in life, it is for sure that this is from the Creator. And that means he wants me to work under these conditions right now. Okay, so we can't go on strike like people do on the outside because of work conditions. right? So we have to keep moving forward. Thus, in everything he does, he says, the Creator certainly enjoys this work, so why should I care if I'm working in a state of concealment off the face? Because one wants to work in order to bestow, meaning that the Creator will enjoy. So if I work, if I want to aim myself to a state where I'm bestowing to the Creator, or where I want to bestow to the Creator all the time, it doesn't matter what I'm going through. And a lot of people have this problem because they feel that spirituality should be nice and easygoing. We should be relaxed, having fun. Hey, we're getting corrected and the Creator loves it. Woo-hoo. All right, it's not going to work that way. Simply because, like I said, if you try to work that way, you will be within reason all the time. So the Creator specifically wants to pinch you a little bit and bring you the darkness so that you can actually go above it. And the whole concept of getting above it is really nice and clear in the sentence. He's saying, listen, if you have a problem and despite the problem, you're still working while you're thinking that this is from the Creator, and now he wants me to work under these conditions, great, let me have a go at it, then the Creator becomes happy because you've taken on what the Creator brought to you in order to go one step higher, in order to get to that purpose of life. So despite the challenges, you're moving forward. And we're also, like I said, we're also happy when our kids are overcoming problems and they're growing up. Okay, it's the same thing here. It's laws of life. Okay, it's also true for the Creator because we're all living under one system. It cannot be that the Creator has laws of nature and he doesn't abide by it. It's just not possible, right? Otherwise, you'd be a hypocrite. So, okay, right. Item number 20. Any questions? Nothing yet. Okay, it's all quiet on the Western Front. Okay. Rabbi's article number 24. If one decides that he wants to work as dust, meaning even if he tastes the taste of dust in the work, he says that it is very important for him to be able to do something for the sake of the Creator. And for himself, he does not care which taste he feels, and says that this work in which one tastes the taste of dust, meaning that the body mocks this work, he says to the body that in his view, this work is regarded as raising the Shekhinah from the dust. In other words, although the body tastes dust in this work, the person says that it is holiness and does not measure how much flavor he feels in the work. Rather, he believes that the Creator does enjoy this work, since there is no mixture of the will to receive here. Since he has nothing to receive because there are no flavors or scent in this work, as there's only the state of dust here. For this reason, he believes that this is the holy work and he is delighted. All right, so delighted from the taste of dust. Okay, that's the state we have to come to. But think about it, it's very logical. It's very logical. We want to come to equivalence of form, right? Just like the Creator bestows, we want to bestow as well. In order for me to bestow, if I'm a desire to receive and I want to receive for myself, and the Creator is bestowal and he's only bestowal, in order for me to have some contact with him, I have to have equivalence of form. We have to have something in common. That common thing is the intention to bestow. And if I'm always working with an intention to bestow, despite the fact that I get no taste from it, then it means there's no self-reception. Now just think about it logically for a moment, okay? So now in this world, we can do this as well, right? In this world, you can hate your job, but if it pays well, okay? So, but the way we do it in this world is obviously with our desire to receive. I hate the job, I hate the boss, but it pays good. Okay, so I'm happy to go, put a smile on my face and do it. Okay, this work is opposite. You get the taste of dust, you got no reward, you can't see any reward, okay, and things are getting bad every day. Ooh, that's just, okay. And if you work like that, then you detach from your desire to receive, and that's the whole trick. So this is why a lot of people leave along the path. Because if everything was going nice, I'd never leave. I'd say, hey, listen, I'm getting good profit for this. I feel good. So if I feel good, and I'm never going to get out of the desire to receive. So the Creator on purpose has to, put us into a bit of a tight knot and stress us out a little bit. And upon that stress, if I'm still moving forward, despite the fact that I don't want to, I get no taste from it. I see no benefit from it, nothing, but I'm still moving forward. That allows me to detach myself from the desire to receive. And it means that I can work on whatever situation I'm in. So no matter what I'm going through, I can still work. And the state does not matter. And once that happens, then you're disconnected from your desire to receive for yourself. And that disconnection is enough to have some kind of a clear sensation of what it means to be in bestowal. It's not bestowal yet, but a detachment from the desire to receive for myself is already enough to feel something outside of my desire to receive. Okay, and that little thing is enough to make your starting point in spirituality. All right, so that's how it is. That's why taste of dust and all this negative kind of stuff they're talking is all good for us. Okay, it's like with kids, we give them a lot of problems so they can solve them and, get wise, grow, be smart, even though they're, going through stressful moments there, trying to figure it out. Okay. Item number 21, again from Baal Salam. Now, these excerpts are also good for tomorrow because we're going to be studying, I think, again, above reason, faith above reason tomorrow as well. So the more we go through these, sink them in, then we can also get prepared for the morning lesson as well. So this lesson for us can be a really nice preparation for the morning lesson. Sometimes one despises this work of assuming the burden of the kingdom of heaven, which is a time of a sensation of darkness, when one sees that no one can save him from the state he is in but the Creator. Okay, so this is also normal. We cannot accept and justify the Creator when we're going through a bad state. I mean, not unless we're spiritually elevated, right? So while we're still in our desire to receive, while we're still on the path, it's not really possible for a person to be all, smiles and stuff along the way. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so if we get used to the idea, that's fine. And if we take on the work of correcting ourselves, then we should have dark moments, and they're actually good. When one sees that no one can save him from the state he's in, but the Creator, and that's good. Why? Because I'm working and I'm thinking, wow, there's nothing else I can do. Only the Creator can help me out. Because how am I going to change my nature? I won't be able to. I can't change my nature. And the work, the more I do it, the body, the desire to receive, it will not agree with working. Nobody will agree with this working. Yeah? You've got to be crazy to be in agreement with this. Okay, but if we have a strong environment, plus the Creator helping us out, then you can stand it. Okay, you can stand it. And that means you can move forward. So the environment is really important. Then he takes upon himself the kingdom of heaven above reason, as an ox to the burden and as a donkey to the load. Now that's a nice description about how we should be working. Like an ox to the what? To the burden, and as a donkey to the load. So basically just load up, buckle up, and move forward. And that's what it's talking about. And there's not much else we can do. And on many occasions, if you're in the lessons as well, you'll hear the Rav saying that, the Kabbalists always say, look, whatever comes to you, take it, but just don't leave the path. All right? Because this is how life is. Every time life goes sour, you don't think about jumping off the cliff. All right? So same here, it's going to get bumpy. Just like with everything in life, it's a bumpy road. However, every time things go sour, you can't just bail out and jump ship or whatever. So we've got to take it and move forward. And that's what the sentence really means. Doesn't matter what you go through, you're okay with it, or try to be okay with it. Even if you're not okay with it, try to be somehow do something and just move forward. All right, that's the only way. One should be glad that that now he has something to give to the Creator. You see, it's exactly at that time you've got something to give, because you're not working with your desire to receive. So that is specifically the time when you've got something to present to the Creator on a silver platter. And the Creator enjoys him having something to give to the Creator. But one does not always have the strength to say that this is beautiful work called adornment, but he despises this work. This is a harsh condition for one to be able to say that he chooses this work over the work of whiteness, meaning that he does not sense a taste of darkness during the work, but then one feels a taste in the work. It means that then he does not have to work with the will to receive, to agree to take upon himself the kingdom of heaven above reason. If he does overcome himself and can say that this work is pleasant to him, that now he's observing the commandments of faith above reason, and he accepts this work as beauty and adornment, this is called the joy of mitzvah. Okay, so that is a bit further down the line in our work. Okay, so that's not going to happen tomorrow. If you just started or you're studying, that's going to take a while, right? But this is how it is. Right? Why? Because you have to get used to the work. And the thing here is this, right? As you get used to the work, the rhythm of the work, and you understand the ups and downs are going to come, and you understand why they're coming, and you understand that there's a good reason for it, because this is the way you can advance and get out of your, self benefit or your selfishness, or constantly thinking about yourself, right? This is the way to get out of it. Then it becomes like a nice game. Then you can say, the Creator is like playing around with us, like we play around with children. Okay, that is the way to go. And then you can have some happiness in the work. What does that mean? It means I am going through troublesome states, but I understand why. And I'm happy to work with it because I understand they advance me. So then I'm not stuck with sweet and bitter, but I'm evaluating the situation from the perspective of truth and lie. Okay, if I get stuck in sweet and bitter, I'm going to be like a little kid. All right, I want a chocolate, I don't want this bitter stuff. I'm always going to look for something sweet, and we're just not going to grow up, obviously, right? This is why children can't eat chili peppers when they're kids, right? Why? Because they like life sweet. Why? It's a lie, because they're playing a game, and within games, they're growing up. So the whole system around them is a lie. But from a lie, they get to recognize reality. This is how they grow up. So with us as well, if I'm stuck always looking for the sweet stuff in life, I'm never going to grow up. So as we grow up, we also tolerate spicy food, and we in fact like it, right? We like it. Why? Because life also brings us bitter stuff. So the food is also bitter and it gives us a different taste. That's how you feel the food with greater, how do you say, richness, right? The food is richer with the spices. If you just had meat without the salt, not going to taste as good, right? So adding a bit of spice onto the food is the same thing as the Creator, spicing up our work. So on the one hand, I'm going through some kind of a drama, but on the other hand, I understand I understand the concept of development, right? So if I can set that into my mind, understanding the concept of development, why it needs to be this way, then I can be happy. I can be happy that I do have problems. Why? Because, well, then you can turn to the Creator. How are we going to build a relationship with the Creator if you do not need the Creator? All right. If I was to do everything myself, say, hey, Creator, thanks for everything, but no, thank you. Have a good day. I'll go my own sweet way. All right. But that's not going to really work out for the purpose of life, because the purpose of life is to connect with the Creator. And the only way kids and parents connect is when children ask for something. So kids are always asking and you're always providing. That way you're building a connection. And the same thing goes for the Creator. For us to build a connection with the Creator, we have to do some kind of we have to go through a growing up phase, right? We're growing up. And during that growth phase, we need help, just like children need help. And we need to get it from the Creator. So in this life, we get it from mom and dad. At the end of the day, what's mom, right? Mom's like God to children. Because whatever you want, mommy gives, right? So it's like, like mom's your God. All right, so for us, obviously the guy upstairs is the real guy upstairs. But if you think about the concept, it's the same concept. All right, the concept is the same. So we have to always turn to the Creator for help so that we can overcome our desire to receive, can detach ourselves from these desires and focus on bestowal, being above our self-concern. It's the same way kids are growing up. And if we can understand that, then it's called the Joy of Mitzvah. It means that I achieved going above reason. Now I'm one step closer to the goal. That's about it. Alrighty. Patricia's asking, is that why we get bad thoughts, to overcome bad thoughts? Well, we need to overcome everything that's bad. It could be a bad thought, bad desire, bad intention, or a nasty, anything in life could happen, right? God forbid, health, family problems, anything, work. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, whatever makes me feel bad, right, it's called darkness. So through that darkness, now what am I going to do? What do I have to do through this darkness so that I can actually elevate myself and take the next step forward? So all the problems that come to us, doesn't really matter what it is, because at the end of the day, we feel two states, good or bad, and that's it. So what am I going to do? Am I going to get stuck in the good or bad feeling, or am I going to evaluate the situation and say, well, I feel bad, but from this bad, I think I can go above the bad and keep working for what? Keep working to bestow. Yeah, it sounds crazy, but I want to do it. Why? Because the goal is important. So I've got a link. You remember all this time, remember everything that we've learned, right? So we have to kind of link them all up, like rings on a chain. And as we put all of them together in place, so this nice long chain, which is called the work that we're doing and all the phases that we're going through. Besta is asking, what will we do if friends asking pray for corporeal problems? If the person feels away from them because of these things, how can we go above reason? Well, Besta, if you're praying for a friend, it's always good. Okay, for one thing, if you're not praying for yourself, that's good. So praying for the friend is always good. If we're praying for the friend so that they can overcome the corporeal stuff in order to continue on the path, it's also good. But everyone or anyone who's doing the study, who's working with us, should understand that any problem that they have, comes from the Creator. This is a critical concept, because otherwise I'm going to lose focus. Right? I have a problem. I immediately have to relate it to the Creator. And if I don't do that, you're not going to pass until you learn the lesson, right? So it's very important that the friend who you guys are all praying for also needs to understand how to do the work. If every time you have a problem, you start calling the group and say, hey, pray for me, guys, pray for me, guys, pray for me, guys, it's just not going to work out. It's like a little kid constantly asking for some kind of a lollipop, okay? Or asking for you guys to do the homework. It's just not going to work out. So everyone in the 10 should understand that, look, problems come to us from the Creator, and they come to us for a reason, to continue the work no matter what we're going through, because that's how we can disconnect from our desire to receive for ourselves. So this is a simple formula. It's a simple sentence. It's hard for a person to remember, that's for sure. But that's why I got the friends. So all of you guys should also remind your friend that there's none else besides the Creator. All our problems come from the Creator. And with corporeal things, we just have to do the best we can to overcome those corporeal problems, just like everybody else does. So if I have a health problem, I've got to go to the doctor. If I have a health problem, I can't say, hey guys, pray for me and I'll get better. Come on. It's just not going to work out. It's just not going to happen. Right? So everybody should understand how the work should be done. And you guys have to help that friend as well, so that she understands that the Creator is the source of everything. And we just have to, from, whatever we get from the Creator, we just have to do the best we can to carry on. That's all. Everybody, people who do not study the wisdom of Kabbalah, they also have problems. Right? They also have problems in the world. And we're no different, and we're not exceptional, and we are no exceptions either. Life brings problems to everyone, and to us even more, maybe, even. Okay? If you look at your friends on the outside, they may not have any problems at all. You think you're the one with all the problems. But the truth of the matter is everybody's getting problems, and we should just understand where it's coming from and move forward and carry on. All right? This is the most important situation. And everyone should remind everyone this principle all the time. Okay? You can't. Okay. With every small thing, if a friend is coming and saying, pray for me, pray for me, pray for me, that's just like, it's not good. It's not good. It means you guys are not reminding her where the problem is coming from either, and what she has to do. So you guys should make a workshop. Have a workshop. Sit down together and say, what are we going through in life? And according to the wisdom of Kabbalah, according to what we're learning here, what do we have to do? How should we treat what we're going through in life? What should be our reaction? Or how should we relate to this situation that we're going through right now, so that we can go forward and not get stuck in the swamp of desire to receive? And that should be your concern. So all of you should do some kind of a workshop, sit down, talk about it. Remember, talking about things in spirituality is really important, because the more you discuss a topic, you grow your desire, you grow your connection, you grow your faith in the Creator as well, because you'll find answers in the connection. So all of this will come together. So the more a person can nullify to the group, and rather having problems, don't ask for the group for your prayers, for their prayers. but just you pray for the friends and problems will go away. You get problems because you're thinking about yourself. If you don't think about yourself, you delete the sensation of your existence. And if you don't exist, you can't have a problem. Okay, understand the logic behind it? I feel that I exist because I exist in my desire to receive. If I disconnect from my desire to receive, I am not feeling myself, like my desire to receive for myself. That deletes my existence. And if you don't exist, you can't have a problem. It's impossible for you to have a problem if you don't exist. Think about what I'm saying, and you get the idea. You only get problems when you're existing in your desire to receive for yourself. So if you want to overcome any problem, pray for somebody else. Think about the wellness of somebody else. If you want to overcome all your problems, think about the benefit of others and work in that direction, and that problem will disappear. That is for sure. That is from experience as well. All right, Mademoiselle Bester. Got a question from Egypt. Faith comes through experience, as we've learned, but is there another kind that comes through believing in the experiences of others? Nah. The experience of others you can use for wisdom, but it's not faith. Faith is something you need to attain. That's a nice question, actually. It's a good question. So, for example, like if we're going through if we have a religious background or we were raised in a religious culture, let's say, right, and we were taught in a certain way, we're not actually believing in the Creator. We're believing in the words of somebody else who told us that this is how it is. And if I believe them, then that's not believing in the Creator, but that's believing what somebody told me. And if you believe in the things that somebody else tells you, you never get to attain the truth. So when we go through that, when we go through these things, like religious people go through them in religions, right? They believe what others told them and what's written in a book. But do they really understand what's written in the book? Okay, so they weren't there. So what we have to do is, in order to believe in the Creator, you have to attain the Creator. You have to feel the Creator, right? You have to feel His existence. Then you can say, I believe in the Creator. That is the state we should all come to. Okay. In the meantime, though, as we are working in the wisdom of Kabbalah, we have to take the recommendations of the Kabbalists. So they say, listen, guys, if you want to feel the Creator, you got to have a contact point, a little tangent point. So how are we going to build that? Well, you can only build it if you get out of yourself, if you stop feeling yourself all the time in your desire to receive, if you stop this me business and constantly work towards others, then you have an opportunity to get out of your skin, to feel something not always in you, but something outside of you. And that something outside of you is the Creator. And that is only felt if we have some contact point, which is called bestowal and love of others. That is why if you ask any Kabbalist and say, do you believe in God? He'll say, no, I don't. You say, how can that be? Because spirituality is not about believing, it's about attaining. It's about attaining. This is why you can't really explain all this stuff to some guy out there on the streets, because he's a believer according to what's called belief. out there on the street. But according to the wisdom of Kabbalah, you can only believe what you attain, what you know 100% without a doubt to be true. It's a feeling and an understanding. And it's the outcome of growing up. Just like you understand how and why your father treated you in a certain way, because now you became a father yourself. Right? Then you begin to understand why they did that to you, how they raised you, and so on and so on. Because you begin to look at life from their perspective. That's attainment. And this is where we need to get to with the Creator as well. That's how we can justify the Creator as well. You see, it's not just about believing, there's a Creator, okay, there's a Creator, okay, so fine, great. Well, what about, what's the idea behind it? What does he want from creation? What's his objective? What does he think about us? Why did he create us? So what does he want to make out of us? All of these are questions, they need to be answered. You can't just believe because somebody told us or it's in a book somewhere. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough. So belief is when I completely understand and attain the thought of the Creator as well, why he did that to me. And that's the beautiful thing about spirituality, because you go through a sour state, and as you grow up, you can say, I went through that bad state, but now I understand why that was necessary. Why? Because now you're attaining the Creator's thought. And that's like a kid growing up and understanding the parents, thinking, now I know why they did that. And that's really good. Because that's attainment. Then you can say, wow, that's my mom or my dad. And then the Creator, and the Kabbalah says, wow, that's our God. That's the Creator. And that's pleasure. That's a lot of pleasure. Because you feel, you understand that he treated you with 100% love and care all the way. All the way, all the time. 100% care, 100% love. And he was really meticulous about it. And you begin to feel that. Then you begin to feel the love of the Creator towards the whole of creation, towards everyone. Then you can't help but not to bestow as well. And then you begin to have this cause and outcome. And then you begin to discover the whole of reality from the perspective of the Creator. That joy and happiness is in the love of others and by doing good things to them because you love them. Because the minute you love them, you can do anything for them. And that is growth. Then you never get to feel yourself again because you get to feel yourself. When I say you don't get to feel yourself, you obviously feel yourself, but you get to feel yourself as part of others, not some isolated being in a protein bag. Right? And that's the whole idea. And that's called faith. When you're at that level and you integrate yourself into reality, into the Creator's reality, and you exist there with the Creator, that's called faith. That's why the topic is always faith above reason. It means that I prefer to be incorporated in others rather than myself. Because when you're in yourself, you're always you're like a cockroach living in a matchbox. That sort of small, dark, pathetic life. And this is how our life is on this planet. If you think about it, that's exactly how it is. You can't get pleasure from anything. Because the minute you get something, the pleasure and the desire cancel each other out. You got to start running around for another pleasure all the time until you end up dead. It's just tiring. So the whole concept of the dot in the heart awakening is because the person wants to find and attain the truth. That is why attaining the Creator is called spirituality, not just believing what somebody told us. That's actually called idol worship. All right, that's a good question though from Egypt. Lovely. All right, guys, so it's 9:55. I do believe we're going to call it a night. So hopefully you guys had a good lesson. I always enjoy Tuesday lessons. It gets me ready for Wednesday. And so we're going to love you and leave you all until next Tuesday. Hopefully everything will go well. Take care. All the best. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.